Hi.
What's up, buddy?
Hi. How y'all doing today?
We have an afternoon delight, and I don't know how long it's been, but Arlington, we're going to make some people mad today.
Ain't that what we always do?
I mean, I guess so. Arlington, listen, we got the week 10, we got week 10 coming up. We got the conference championships locked in. No matter what happens, we know they're going to be in Birmingham. We know they're going to be in St. Louis. So no matter what happens, what is the biggest deal, Arlington? We can name who the USFL conference champion is and the XFL conference champion is. Who cares? Who cares? We already know where the games are going to be played at. Am I right, Arlington?
Come on, man. That at least means something, dude. Come on, dog.
Come on, man. Come on, man. What's up, Phil? Arlington, it's like this, okay? It's like this. We already know where the championships are going to be at, so who really
whoop-de-damn-do
gives a whoop-de-damn-do of who is the conference champs and the conference champs? Who really cares? Exactly, Phil.
Somebody really right there with you, man.
Arlington, so where do we want to start at, Arlington? Where do we want to start at?
Well, as you can see down at the bottom, those are the scores from this past weekend's game.
Is that how we're breaking it down from best games to the worst games?
Well, come on, man. They're
actually, if you look at it, that's exactly how it would go. That's exactly how it would go if you look at it.
Hi, Kiala. How you doing today? We're going to try something a little different. We're going to put the comments on the side down there. You guys can also
I like it. But Arlington, let's really get into it. Let's go to our week 10, or going into our week 10 power rankings, shall we?
Sure. Let's do that.
Here we go. Here's our week 10 power rankings. As you see, some things have changed. The Battlehawks moved up. The Birmingham Stallions moved up. Michigan stayed the same. Defenders dropped. The Roughnecks moved up. Renegades dropped. Boats dropped. And there's the poor lonely old Brahmas sitting in the very bottom of it all year long, Arlington.
I think this is the first time the Battlehawks has been at the top spot.
I know we had them at the top spot before, Arlington.
I don't think we have.
Are you sure? I'm almost positive we had, bro. I'm almost positive, homie. I think we have, Arlington. I really think we have.
More of a formality, man.
Huh?
It's more of a formality.
You think so? I think you might be right. I think you might be right. But there it is. Arlington, is there any disagreements on this? I know that you texted me when we were doing it. You're like, I think we'll disagree on number 1 and number 2. Is there any disagreements on this?
No.
I don't think so. I don't really think there is. You know what I mean?
That's good news to hear.
Do what? Yes. Well, see, she always ruins it. We're gonna do that at the end of the show. But hey, our thoughts and prayers go out to our guy Daddy Ed over there at the bottom line. If some of you guys might know, Daddy Ed, I did. Daddy Ed had a health issue and a health scare. I'm not going to go into any more than that because it is close to home with me with Daddy Ed. But yeah, Daddy Ed had a scare on Friday, and luckily Daddy Ed is at home recovering. So our thoughts and prayers go out to Daddy and Ed. Well, Phil, that's funny that you say that, Arlington, because we're going to throw something into this, right? But Arlington, let's get into let's get into the game, shall we? You want to?
The nitty-gritty?
You want to, on the games that were the best games of the week and all of that stuff? Do you want to, Arlington, as we do this?
Sure.
Huh? You want to? Because I think we really should, Arlington. What do you think? Huh?
Sure.
You think so? You think we should? All right, Arlington, where do you want to start? What was the worst and best game of the week?
And this game is because this is all due to ESPN's follow-up. This is Arlington and Memphis. So that was the worst game.
Come on, listen, Arlington. Let me ask you a question. Okay. I was at that game, okay? But are you really going – or no, I wasn't. Wait, no. What are you talking about? Are you talking about what happened just the other day with the Indy 500?
Yeah.
Would you really bump the would you bump the Indy 500 for the UFL?
No.
Exactly. So but what? But nothing. But nothing.
The run in, it actually helped them.
It did. I will give you that.
And it led to a fantastic finish and the biggest ratings by far.
It did. You're absolutely right, Arlington. It did. I mean, listen, I get it. You know, everybody talks about this league and, you know, we sit here and you say, would they need to be more prioritized and all of that stuff. But let me ask you a question. And let's take the glasses off, Arlington, because, you know, that's what we like to do here is take the rose-colored glasses off, right? This is the Indy 500. One of the largest races of the year. And this is a league this is a thing where this league is not an established league at all. By the way that they've ran stuff, this league kind of looks Bush League-ish as you go halfway through the year and you're like, oh, we're going to change our format for playoffs. Or we can't get it right on where we're going or how we're going to get our championship games scheduled.
Maybe
Okay.
this should be a fan-oriented league, as we have stated for quite some time. Maybe the fans should depict what they want for their football league, okay? Maybe you should have went back to the Fan Advisory Network in 2020, but you steadily want to move away from Vince McMahon.
Maybe.
You can take some of the ideas. It ain't like he patented them. Maybe. You could have done that.
Maybe you could have. But Arlington, my thing with that game, actually, Arlington, that was a rain delay that hurt that game. Dude.
Correct.
I mean, even though they had 509 yards in that game, total between both teams, where Arlington had 336 total yards, Memphis had 173 yards. You know, maybe, just maybe, that rain delay did hurt the game a little. Maybe. But you're going to say that's the worst game of the week.
I said that was the Arlington-Memphis game because they had to move the game to streaming.
Well, I mean, that's true, and it did go up against Birmingham, and
that had nothing to do with the Indy 500.
No, that's right. When was the Indy 500? Was that on Saturday?
That game was on Sunday. The DC Houston game was Sunday.
Yeah, that's what got affected by that, right? That's what we're talking about. What's
right. Going on, champ? I see you doing double duty on Facebook and YouTube. Yes, Philip, the UFL has made baffling decisions throughout the last 3 seasons and have sapped all the fun out of this thing. Yes, Sabrina, yes. The DC game was the best, and if they would have got those 3 points, it would have been crazy. At least Fox the Fox viewership would have got his chance to see it.
Right. That is true.
Sabrina also says the Indy 500, of course, gets precedence over the UFL, but the NBA pregame stuff was garbage. They could have gave us those 2 minutes.
Why? No.
Wait, hold on, man. I'm going to say to that was the NBA it's a fixture on ESPN, and they're going to get precedence no matter what. So if you're doing a run over, that's what it's going to be. So as UFL sitting here fighting for time slots, you also got to understand what you're going to get involved with. That's why we wanted the season at the beginning of or during February and not April.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So we have
Arlington. You're seeing it.
Yes, we have Arlington and Memphis as the 4th worst game of the week. Correct.
Was that your worst game? Because you know that wasn't your worst game.
I mean, listen, the way that we've decided this is it's by total yards, right? That's how we've decided what the worst and the best games are, correct? Total yards and score, correct?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. So, no, but ain't that how we decided we were going to do it, right?
Fine.
I mean, no, but isn't that how we decided we were going to do it, correct?
Okay, I got you.
So, I mean, if you look at that game, okay, even though it did have the 2-hour rain delay or whatever, the score was 30-12. Arlington had the 336 yards to 173 total yards for a total yards of 509 total yards, right? But were the ratings really that good? Because the ratings have been the same. The ratings, see, Tim, that's a lie there because ESPN, we've already talked about this and discussed it. ESPN calculates their ratings when they go over to ESPN Plus. It's just, it hasn't came out yet. So that we've already debunked that whole thing with the whole ESPN streaming and all that bullshit. Have we not, Arlington?
Oh, yeah. We've done that already, especially when it comes to streaming stuff.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, listen, by the time that game started, you're right. No games do matter this week. That's why we're really not going to talk about them that much.
Just one, but
maybe just one. All right, Arlington, so here you go. Are you ready? So the game that everybody is probably going to be like, oh, that game was so good. That game was so good. But guess what, Arlington? The game really didn't matter at all. Good afternoon, Mr. Excalibur.
So Adrian in the Caboose show.
Right.
Y'all can see the comments that pop up on.
I know, right? You guys
we don't have to we can magnify a few of them, but this time you get to see what excellence.
Arlington, the number 3 game of the week, right? The number 3 game of the week was a total yards for one team of 402 to another total teams of 234 with a total yards of the game for 636 with a score of 39-13.
Yeah.
It was the St. Louis Battlehawks versus the San Antonio Brahmas. Listen, St. Louis fans that watch the show, you can argue it all you want. Guess what? It didn't matter if we won or lost this game. The only thing it would matter is, we could get the XFL conference. We could become the XFL conference champs. Whoop-de-doo. Who cares? Give me the UFL. Give me actually the PR. The PR department's not too happy with those ratings. Give me a UFL championship for the St. Louis Battlehawks. That's what I would much rather have than a stupid attendance title and a stupid attendance champs. We're the attendance champs. I don't want any of that crap because guess what? Those are participation trophies. Give me the title. You think Patrick Mahomes liked getting the second place ring in the Super Bowl when he got beat by the Philadelphia Eagles? No. He wants the Super Bowl. I want the UFL championship. I could care less about the conference championship, title, attendance title. Give me the UFL championship title. That's what I want. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. Didn't matter because guess what, Excalibur? Whether this league wants to tell you or not, I can tell you right here on this show, and Arlington can vouch. Arlington, they knew at the very beginning of the year that they didn't have DC locked up. They didn't have them because they didn't want to pay the extra money. You know, that's why they didn't pay for the extra games in all these cities. They already knew they didn't have DC locked. They already knew they were going to do the XFL Conference Championship game here in St. Louis.
I should have saw this coming.
So, see, okay, that's the third worst game. Arlington, can you disagree compared to the other two
I should have seen this one coming, man, because ain't no way you going to sit there and you start putting these silly little truth bombs that you like to put out so much.
Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Brahmas, and yes, I understand the Brahmas are dealing with a lot, man. And I see Philip comment the Brahmas won the XFL championship last year. How's it going? Is that moment for them? Well, one of the things that happened was they had a new quarterback, which that quarterback has.
We can save that because we got some really interesting stats leading into week 10 for all of you people.
All right. Now,
we got really interesting.
I will say this. Denzel's comment, he says Brandon Silvers looks better than Max Dutch.
I mean, listen, we already knew that Brandon Silvers, your boy toy, Arlington, your boy toy, Brandon Silvers already looked better than Max Dugan. We knew that he looked better than Max Douglas. You know what I'm saying? We already knew it. You know what I mean?
And he gets to start this weekend.
Right, yeah.
He's getting to start Friday night.
Exactly.
Look, Denzel said, give me Silvers for QB1. Well, guess what, folks? You'll get it for week 10.
Hey, you know what? I'd be okay with what Keela says right here. I would be okay with them paying Chevron in DC.
That's right. He is back on the roster.
I'd love to see what the kid could do.
I want to see what Cordero can do. Yeah, he should get some time, at least in the. But if it's going for the division, you gotta play Brandon Silvers.
You have to.
As much as we want to sit here and say it doesn't mean anything, to be 2 games up on DC would be fine, but also, let me ask y'all this, even you, sir. Mm-hmm. How do you play this? How do you really play this? You can play it as a strategic tactic here. You can either go into the game, win the game. That means you'll have to play that, which would mean the other team, that whoever loses, it's going to be motivation for that squad.
Okay, you want my honest opinion? You want my honest opinion?
Sure. That's what this show is for.
All right. So here's how it works. What
it's crazy or not.
We saw last year, right? With the Battlehawks and the Brahmas, right? Battlehawks beat the Brahmas.
Then had to play them the next week, right after that.
Play them the next week. And then what happened, Austin or Arlington? We lost to the Brahmas. We lost, right? If I'm the Battlehawks, hey, Coach Beck, who cares about the XFL? Again, I don't care about the XFL Conference Champion. I don't care if we're the division champ. I could care less. I could care less if we're the division champ. Give me the UFL championship. Lose in DC. Lose in DC. I don't care about your 8th win. I don't care. Stick at 7-3 your entire career. Just give me the UFL championship. Lose the game because then you got a better shot at beating them. But here's the other problem. Jordan Ta'amu is 5-1 in domes. And he has not lost to the Battlehawks in St. Louis. So, with that being said, Arlington, I'm losing this game so I can come back and get all these people riled up, and maybe we could put more than 17,000 in the dome instead of tickets distributed 30,000. Maybe we could put 17,000 asses in the seat if we lose the game, because then the game really matters to us. You see what I'm saying, Arlington?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
Said dirty checker text.
Who said that? Where do you see that? Who said that? Who said
our second stringers versus DC second stringers are better?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, guess what? We're about ready to. We got some really interesting stats for you on that one, people.
All right. So Battlehawks and Brahmas were the third best game. So the second best game in this case.
It's a shocker, Arlington, because the first place game isn't the game everybody thinks it is. The second best game.
Well, yours isn't.
No, it might
be.
The way that we do this, Arlington, remember, right? The way that we do this, remember. It was a team that had 335 yards to 362 yards for a total yards of 697, and the score was 22-26.
Panthers in Michigan.
Panthers
really?
in Birmingham is the number 2 game of the week.
Panthers in Birmingham.
Panthers in Birmingham. They were the number 2. It's the number 2 game of the week because, again, we're going to see this team. But I think, and I was tweeting it out on our X-Fan Show page, Skip Holtz owns Mike Nolan. Mike Nolan is Skip Holtz is little altar boy. Owns him. He just dominates him every single time. Yes, I want to see Silver over Duggan. Hands down. Yes, Excalibur.
You will. Y'all will get it. You get it in week 10. What do you mean?
We'll get it. I want to see. I'm trying to see that one little message. It's important. What does it say? Oh, yeah. I'll let you know on that because me and Arlington are actually going to start covering this upcoming league that's coming very soon. We're in the talks with this league, and no, it's not. But we're going to talk about it. Where was I, Arlington? I lost my train of thought.
You were talking about the Panthers and Stallions game.
You're messing with my ADHD.
I'm not messing with your age, man.
My ADHD, you're messing with me, bro. You're messing with me. As you can see, I'm rocking my old XFL hat for the Vipers, the now defunct Vipers. And I'm wearing my Brahma shirt today. That's beside the point, Arlington. But that was the second best game of the week. Arlington, here's a little fun fact for you. Are you ready for this? Look, Arlington, I got all these notes. You ready? Because
people put all your notes together. Look at you. Look at you being a
Arlington, did you know that there are only 2 teams, two teams that have over 400 yards of offense this year?
Hold on. Go ahead. I'm going to let you go. Watch this.
Did you guys know, Arlington, guys, did you know there's only 2 teams that have over 400 yards this year? Arlington, you click on
these guys. It's these guys. Let me tell you something. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Is it this? Is it this?
2 teams that have 2 games over 400 yards. The DC Defenders and the Michigan Panthers. It happened in week 5 and 6 for the Panthers, and it happened in week 5 for DC, and then week 8 for DC. They are the only 2 teams in this league.
I see the comment: if Perkins is healthy, Michigan beats Birmingham and Birmingham on June 8th.
Hands down.
Absolutely.
Hands
Especially
down.
Even we can sit there and say all day.
Yes.
Even he's been out the last couple of games. I still would consider him the MVP.
Who?
But
Perkins?
now,
But just wait,
Now,
Arlington. Just wait, because
I'm kind of took over.
with the little stat that we got, the little breakdown that we got, you're going to be really shocked that I think we're really going to reconsider some stuff here on who is actually really the best teams and how records are reflected, right? So that was our number 2 game of the week, Arlington. I mean, can we disagree? And listen, the reason why we have this game as our number 1 game of the week, you had 448 yards, total yards, 331 total yards, a score for a total of 798 yards for a game that literally came down to the last second.
The last play of the game.
And a guy who saved his job for next year in Mr. CJ Johnson is DC and Houston with the 24 to 21 win. I mean, Arlington, is there any argument? Because this is what we've been saying about this league all year long, is the last 5 minutes of these games matter.
Always.
I think
you never know what's going to what it's going to translate to.
All right, Arlington, you ready? So since we're going to do it from week 9, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
These are the games that were 1 possession games. So that's 9 points, correct? 9 points, right? We have one.
What do you mean, Excalibur?
We have DC and the Brahmas, 18-11, right? So we have 1 there. We have 1. So 2, 3, 4. We have 4 up until week 2, right? Week 3, am I at 4, Arlington? Am I at 4?
You said week 2.
Week 2, we're at 4 total games that have been done by 9 points, correct?
Okay.
Is that right?
You trying to find out how many total games under 9?
We'll keep a running total. You ready?
Jesus. Okay.
So now we're in week 3, and we're at 4 games, correct? So far, 4 games.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Now we go to week 3. We got 5, 6, 7, 8 games. All games. All the games in week 3 were decided by 1 possession.
It wasn't. The DC Battlehawk game was not. Okay. So 7. So now
we're at what? We're at 7 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Week 4.
We had 2 games then, so that makes 9.
9. Week 5, we have 10, 11, 12.
12. So 3 games that week.
Week 6, 13, 14.
14.
Week 7, we're at 14.
1, 2, 3. 3. Say how many?
3. So wait, we were at 14. So
17.
17. Week 8, 19, 20, 21. Week 9.
We had 20, ain't we?
We're at 20. Okay, we're at 22 games out of, we played what? Almost
9 weeks of football.
9 weeks of football. That's how many games total? 8, 9.
36 games.
So 22 of those games
been pretty close.
Have been decided by 36.
1 score.
Divided by 22. Is that right? Or do I times that?
You do 22 divided by 36.
Okay, that's right. 22 divided by 36. 61% of these games.
And that's kind of where you want it. You want it at some place above 50%.
Now, that's a little down from last year because last year we were at like 80% of all the games.
This ain't like the XFL of 23.
No, I'm talking about last year's 2024.
Yeah, there were a lot more blowouts. There were a lot more injuries this year. So, yeah.
These games have all been decided within the last 5 minutes.
He said, I can't believe thine eyes, DC and Panther hats on Battlehawks faithful. This is what happens when you cheer for the league.
This is the X-Fan Show. We're about the entire league. We're about the entire league. Now, if this was B-Hawk Live, I'd have this hat on, and I'd have my Battlehawk shirt on. But this is about the whole league. So, Arlington, that's our number one game of the week. And it makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Who's the little running back that ran like Terry Metcalf? Talking about Jacour Pearson?
Well, he's a receiver. And what team? Well, it could be the kid.
Yeah. For what team is the question, Curtis?
Yeah, what team? That'll help us. All right, Arlington. Here we go. So, all right, Arlington, let's just get to it then. Right, let's get to the championship games, okay? Shall we? Oh, they took it down. Interesting.
JR said Duggan can run like no other, but he isn't very accurate down the field, and for some reason won't throw to the 6'6" receiver, whereas Silvers knows who the beast is.
So, I
will say that for the simple fact of
yeah.
Kevon Latulis. Okay.
Yeah, he had a great
Kevon Latulis. Yeah.
Great game. So, Arlington, we got the Panthers for the championship, regardless of who wins the game. I know it's going to depend on, who is the USFL conference
winner. Yes.
Division champ, right? Okay, I could care less about a division title. That's a participation trophy. Okay? That's a participation trophy. I could care less about that. Okay?
Yes, Justice Hall was phenomenal against DC.
Right. I mean, Arlington, when we were growing up, we're part of the Gen Xers, baby. We didn't get stupid-ass participation trophies. You either won or that was it. Forget this. Oh, we're attended. That don't mean crap. Who cares? Who cares that we have the most people in this league? Because guess what? People outside of St. Louis, other fans are noticing it. The only reason why we have the most fans is because we're pissed off because Stan Kroenke left. And that was almost
10 years ago. 10 years ago, literally.
So we're still mad about Stan Kroenke leaving. Whoop-de-freaking do. Stan Kroenke. I don't want a participation trophy. I don't want the XFL division champ title. Whoop-de-doo. Don't care. Give me the UFL championship title.
Listen, I would not be upset if Michigan and the Battlehawks were in the championship game.
I would be upset because I'd want Michigan to win, damn it.
I wouldn't be upset if these two teams are in the championship game. But I do not want to see the Birmingham Stallions get in. But daggone well, I don't
want to see Birmingham.
Jamar Smith is saving this group.
Go do your Pat Smith and get your sword ready for this weekend. For next weekend, Excalibur. Oh, I mean, Arlington, look, let's look at the game. I know we're looking ahead, right? Okay, DC. We're looking at Birmingham and Michigan. Again, I'm going to go back to this, Arlington. I don't see how. I don't see how Michigan does this.
It's going to take Bryce Perkins. It's going to take Bryce Perkins. Seriously.
Listen, you just played them last week and you lost 22 to 26.
Didn't play them last week.
Week 9. Birmingham and Michigan played.
No, I'm just saying you didn't play, but you didn't play Bryce Perkins.
Scott, listen, I'm telling you now, Scott, we're not a football town. Because if we were a football town,
save that for Bright B-Hawk Live, please.
Yeah, actually, guys, save that for after the season because me and Arlington are actually working on something, and we're going to show you guys some stuff about spring football and the volatileness of spring football. And it's going to shock a lot of people. Am I right, Arlington? It's going to shock a lot of people. But listen, if we're a football time, then we need to be putting 50.
Then show up. Set the championship game. That'll let you know if this is a football town or not.
Exactly. Regardless if we're in the championship game or not, Show up. Then we'll see if we're a football town. I proved it last year that St. Louis is not a football town, and we said we'd pack the dome out last year, and we didn't. All right, so anyways, Arlington, last week, you got 335 yards to the 362, okay? You lost by 4 points in week 9, okay? Then you go up to when they played them. Let me go to what week was that? Was it week 2? All right, so you go to week 2, okay, where we played them, where they played each other again, okay? And then here you go. You had the score was 21-12, another close game, right? Matt Corral and Alex Magoo were in there. That was the game that Alex Magoo got out. And Arlington, believe it or not, that was
Why
the game.
Why are we talking about them right now?
We're talking about the Birmingham and Michigan playoff game.
Why?
Because here's what I'm saying. As much as I would like the team on your head to get in there, I don't see Michigan doing it.
Can we save that for next week?
No, because I'm not picking this week's games. I could care less about this week's games.
My point is, can we say that? Because that's what that's going to be made for. It's going to be for that.
All right, fine. We could save it. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Save that. Because, man, I'm telling you, we're going to have a lot to say about all of that.
The Battlehawks and DC games, we've split them. I think, Arlington, we did the record in what we're – the Battlehawks are up 4-5, correct?
What do you mean?
In the games that we've played each other, that we split it. Ain't it like 4-5?
DC has gotten them at least twice. 3 times.
Well, I know every time that Jordan's come here, they've beat us.
Right.
Every time.
Well, yeah.
Every time. What's up, buddy? Here comes my pal. Come here. Say hi to everybody.
He ain't getting in front of the camera. He's not getting in front of the camera.
Here, do your code. Here.
He know doggone well he ain't getting in front of the camera.
Mm-hmm. He had to fix his tablet.
That is not his forte.
You got it? Come on. Oh, yeah. Hot damn, buddy. Give me some.
You know he ain't getting in front of the camera.
No.
You tried it. Good try.
Amanda says this. Amanda says right here, Battlehawks need to put silvers in this week.
And that's what they're going to do. That's what you have to do. And here's my thing, though.
Oh, keep going.
You really want to see what Silvers brings to the table in the full game if he still has it from start to finish. Yeah, we know last week he played for just a half, and now want to see what it's going to be like for 4 quarters. And well, if depending on what the score is looking like, if it's going to be, because it sounds like we're going to have the second teams facing off against each other.
Exactly.
Just to keep everything fresh which is fine. I have no problem with that.
I don't either.
You want your starters to play in the championship game. So
now I think we're going to see the starters more for the St. Louis and DC game, but maybe not.
I don't think we should. You want to make sure everybody gets a chance to play. This is the regular season finale. They know what the matchup is. That's why we sit here saying.
Joe, you go back. I could care less if we've had Manny in there or not. Jordan has a winning record against the Battlehawks.
Okay, so you want to throw out Manny's interception. Okay, cool.
That's fine. I'm just saying.
Fine. Jordan, if I'm not mistaken, that is the last loss that they took.
To DC?
Period. That's the last loss they took was week 4?
3, they played DC and they lost.
Was it the Renegades? It was the Renegades that they lost to.
We lost to the Renegades.
Okay. And that's the last loss they've taken.
And we haven't lost yet.
They haven't, and the Battlehawks haven't lost since then. It was Arlington. Thank you, Denzel.
Okay, listen, you could say what you want about our backups. Arlington, you know what? So everybody keeps saying it, right? Let's just Arlington, shall we? Shall we pull up this little thing that we just did?
Go ahead, pull it up.
This is the UFL team's total offense and defense. for the entire year, people.
Say, please don't sue us again.
Please don't sue us again. But right here are all the stats for all week 9 games. All week 9 for each team. There's DC's. There's Arlington's. Birmingham's.
There's an offense-defense differential, I guess.
Yeah. So let's literally look at this.
I don't know why he did this.
Because here, I want to point out something. Right here, number 5. That's cool that we got 5 wins in a row. I'm not saying that. Guys, but let's look at this. Our offense is at 2509 to 2434. What a 75-yard differential.
This is crazy. And the reason why I say this is crazy is because I'm looking at the top total offense, just the numbers themselves, and then the top total defense, just the numbers themselves. You would have never believed that the Renegades defense would be where they are at 4-5, and they have the least amount of yards given up on defense. It almost don't even make sense. And then second, believe it or not, is that number 5 team.
So Arlington here, I'm going to give it to you right here. You look at Arlington's record. They're
4-5.
4-5. And they have the best defense in the league by yardage at 2344. You're right. It is. It's an enigma. Is our defense that good? Because, I mean.
And the Panthers are number 2 offensive yardage, and they're number 5 in defense. And this is a team.
No, dude, they're number 2 in offense. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, I said they were number 2 in offense.
Yeah.
And if you look at these numbers, they're number 5 in defense. They're in the bottom 4.
Yeah, like Amanda brings up a good point right here. Why can a college player have more receiving yards for an entire season, but a UFL player can only hit almost 600?
It's up to your quarterback. And you also have to understand there are other players in this league that want a shot just like anybody else. And if they're more available, then they're going to throw to them. So it's actually up to your quarterback on your respective team, whoever it may be. Because even those, if I'm not mistaken, we only have 2 quarterbacks in the UFL that's thrown over 2,000 yards.
Yes. That's it.
2.
Here, let me give you, Joe, JR says right here, the big difference is this defense is good and our offense is shit. All right, well, here, I'm going to give it to you a breakdown, right? David, you're right. It is mind-boggling to me how the Renegades,
that last 5 minutes that you talk about, Jason,
have 2,344 total defensive yards. Number 1 in the league. Which I was shocked because I thought Birmingham, or they're number 2 in the league, next to the Battlehawk by yards or whatever, right?
They're 3rd.
Who is?
The Stallions.
Oh, yeah. The Stallions are 3rd. Oh, yeah. Arlington is the number 1 team. Well, I mean, Amanda's right. Listen, you got college players devout to hit.
And I get it. I get that. But you also understand there is, when it comes to collegiate levels, there is I'm playing, I get it. I am playing for the NFL draft, but also I'm playing for national titles. I'm playing for big time. I'm playing prime time. Where with these UFL guys, I get it. They're trying to get a shot at it, and I'm not knocking them for it because they want a shot at the NFL too. And that's what the UFL has sit back and said, that we have had players go to the NFL, right? They want to sit there and brag about that too.
So here it is. JR keeps talking about how great our offense has played, our defense has played. The defense, are you ready? Because we're going to compare the two. So St. Louis's very first game was against the Houston Roughnecks. They allowed 170 yards. Week 2, they played the Brahmas, 223 yards. Week 3, they played the Panthers, 346 yards total. This is what the defense gave up, okay? Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, I did it wrong. Okay, Houston.
Can you do that on Thursday?
No, because I'm going to do Arlington too. I'm going to show Arlington. I'm going to show you the difference of these teams, right? So in week two, we played Birmingham, 223 yards. Week 3, we played the DC Defender, 346 yards. Week 4, we played the Arlington Renegades, 209 yards. Week 5, we played the Panthers, 400 yards. Week 6, we played Renegades, 210 yards. Week 7, we played the Memphis Showboats, 273 yards. Week 8, again, we played the Renegades, 369 yards. And in last week, we played the Brahmas with 234 yards. Now, here's where it's happened, Arlington. Our defense has come up big in big spots in those last 5 minutes of the game. And the last 5 minutes of the game, that's where they've came up at. And that's been the important part. Now, you go to Arlington. Now, this is the thing I don't understand. Everybody talks about the strength of schedule and all this BS and all that crap, right? But here, Arlington's first game. Okay? Arlington's first game was against the Brahmas. They only allowed 240 yards. Week 2, Arlington played the Houston Roughnecks, 192 yards. Week 3, they played Birmingham, 307 yards. Week 4, they played the Battlehawks, 157 yards is what they gave us. We go to week 5. They played the Defenders, 389 yards in that shootout. Week 6, we played them again, 171 yards. Sandy, you're missing the point. You're missing the point. We're not 8-2. Are we 8-2? No. We are 7-2. I could care less about the XFL Conference Division Championship. I could care less about the XFL Conference Championship. I want a UFL championship. That's what I want. You're right. The difference is that Arlington cannot finish the game, which this is what I find shocking when I sat here and I did these stats. Arlington, because, they kept talking about all year, the consistency of the players and the coaches and the systems, right? Arlington, what is the number one team on here for total offense?
Offense, the Defenders.
Didn't they have a coaching change at the beginning of the year?
Sure did.
Different. I mean, listen, they may be the same coaches and they may be in that same system, but it's a different coaching staff. Again, yes, it does. Returning the rosters come into play. But again, I'm going to go to this with Michigan. I'm going to go right here to Birmingham. Arlington, how many quarterbacks did Birmingham play this year as starting quarterbacks?
How many has Birmingham played with? 4?
How many starting quarterbacks did Birmingham have this year?
4?
5. 5 different starting quarterbacks. And they're number 3 in offensive yards. Again, and to be honest, the record right here for Houston with the 24-11 and in the 228.98 with a differential of 478 yards. Let's not take into consideration that Jalen McClendon didn't really become the starter
till later in the season.
Arlington, I'll give it to you. He did not become the starter
So week 6, week 7?
He came in week 4, and then he was the starter after that. And after Jalen McClendon became the starter, here's their first 3 games for Houston. 170 total offense, 192, 238. Since Jalen McClendon came in, 273, 328, 273, 209, 229, 441, and 331. Can you imagine if you'd put Jalen McClendon in those first 3 games?
When you already had him.
That could have been a totally different story for Houston. Totally different story for Houston. You know? And again, it's a coach that's been there. CJ, been there. You know, they had a lot of injuries. Exactly, David. What if McClendon would have played more?
Are you seeing Adam Ocean today?
What if Jalen McClendon would have paid more? I have a feeling Houston would have a better record and a better differential than they do and putting them at spot 7.
That's tough, though, man. That's tough, man, because that means 3 teams out of the USFL conference would have winning records, and which would lead to the 2023 problem all over again. You get what I'm saying? So that means somebody would be odd man out.
Nate, I said it. Even though we have them right here at number 5, we're going by total offense and total defense. Yes. Our team has stepped up when it needed to in those last 5 minutes of the game. That's what we're getting you guys to understand, is that the most important time of these games, are those last 5 minutes in the UFL.
Of any team.
Because
you never know when it looks like you're out, you're actually back in. And that's the point of the UFL, is giving opportunities for teams that are down to go get a chance to come back.
I sit here and me and Amanda, we sit here and we're watching these games, and she's like, "Are you paying attention?" I'm like, "I'm listening," but it's that last 5 minutes when I really start paying attention. Yeah, David, listen, I'm going to listen. I'm going to have to say, I'm going to have to agree with you that Jalen McClendon saved Curtis Johnson's job, because I think Curtis Johnson, if he gets one more year with all of these guys underneath his belt, that he'll have he could possibly be back for next year. You know, and again, it goes
it's gonna have to be Price, man. Price is the person that's gonna have to get the axe for that Houston Roughnecks offense.
Because you see what happens when you let Jalen McClendon go. Arlington, let me just 328, they let him go. 441, they let him go. 331, they let him go. They let him call it. They let him call the offense. There's a big difference, a very big difference. We'll talk about that after the season, won't we, Arlington?
Yeah, is there anything else?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what is the most shocking thing on here, Arlington? Because here's the one thing that I've noticed. Other than the defenders, which...
It's the Renegades, man. It's easy.
To me, I would say it's the Renegades and the Showboats with all of the turmoil. Well, I mean, definitely with the Renegades. I mean, listen, you're talking, you were the number 4th best offense in this league, right? Right behind the Stallions and Panthers. But yet, like Sabrina said earlier, you can't finish these games. You have Bob Stoops, who's been there. they kept talking about consistency of these coaching staffs, right? Bob Stoops has been in Arlington how long now?
Since 2020. He is the Jeff Fisher of spring football.
Yeah.
No. Don't sit there and look at me crazy.
No,
you can laugh all you want.
I'm agreeing.
The Renegades, Bob Stoops is the Jeff Fisher of this league of spring football. Just look at his record. Just look at the record.
Now, David says here, the Renegades are by far the biggest disappointment of the season. To be honest with you, I will say they are the second biggest disappointment.
Behind who?
This team right here, number 8, right here.
Come on, man.
Hold on. Let's look at it. This is a team that was in the UFL championship last year, right? Got blown out of water by the Stallions, right? They came into St. Louis, beat us here in the dome. We all talk about how great our home field advantage is, but we saw San Antonio walk in and whoop us, right? But then to be that low, 21-12, 28-94, what a yard differential of 782 yards. Your coach leaves. Your offensive coordinator leaves.
You don't know who your quarterback was.
Maybe when they found out Wade was leaving, maybe you guys shouldn't have pissed off AJ Smith and let him stay. Let AJ stay because you might have done better under AJ Smith than you did the coach you have now.
Because he's sitting back and he just like.
AJ sitting at his house out there on the beach with his wife, just sipping, going, yep, should have kept me. Should have kept me.
All right.
But Arlington.
Let's bring this back together.
If you look at this, right?
Okay.
If you look at this, and again, I'm not taking anything away from the Battlehawks because, like everybody we said in here, the Battlehawks the defense has stepped up when they needed to, right? Okay. But by the way these games have been played out and the yards and the points and all of that stuff, the top 4 teams should be the team that's playing in this playoffs. If you look at it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
The biggest differential to me is the defenders with the 506 yards.
But what does that really say about their defense? What does that say about their defense? That you have to throw more yards just to you got to gain more yards on offense just to keep what's going on with the defense?
Well, we all sit here and we talk about Jordan Ta'amu's completion percentage, right? But defenders are the only team in the UFL that have 20 or more plays of passes down the field of 20 yards or more. 20 yards or more. This is a team that lost its head coach, lost its defensive coordinator.
And they played way better than last season.
And they played way better than last year. And Abram Smith, and the only excuse me and Arlington made why DC played like dog doo-doo last year, it was because Abram Smith.
And Abram Smith hasn't been himself either.
Nothing.
He ain't done a lot, for real.
Guys, I'm telling you, if we had AJ, okay? If we had AJ, then I could make an argument for us to be 7-2. I can make the argument for us being 7-2.
Are you saying McCarron?
Yes.
Or Smith?
AJ McCarron.
Yep, there you go. Yep, I should have seen this one coming. Oh my goodness. They 7-2 without him, and here we are. God dog it. Man. Okay. I have to go.
I do too.
I have to go now.
We will see you guys next week. And don't worry, those numbers might change. I don't know if they will that much, but listen, these
Hold on.
mean nothing. Yeah, go ahead.
Before you go, before y'all go, I'm going to go ahead and make my picks.
Oh, look at this. Denzel's
Huh?
right. If we had AJ, we might have been unbeaten this year.
Oh, stop it.
I agree. Denzel,
I'm done with y'all today.
that guy over there, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
I'm done with y'all today, man. Y'all talking
All right,
real crazy.
let's do our picks. Do we really want to do them?
Let's go DC because it don't matter. The Panthers, the Renegades,
Let me
Birmingham.
write them down. DC.
Yep.
Okay. Panthers.
The Renegades and the Stallions.
Renegades. Arlington. And Stallions. Okay. Well, it doesn't really matter, Arlington, because I've smacked you all around this year doing our picks.
Oh,
Yes.
come on, Denzel. Shut up.
If we had the Nooch, we would definitely be undefeated.
Shut up. And then lose in the XFL championship or the UFL championship.
Championship. Listen, I'm gonna go St. Louis because DC doesn't care, and Coach Doorman isn't going to really ruin his players. He'll have us beat by the first half, and then we'll come in, and then Silvers will take over.
Annihilate everybody. Okay. All right.
Everybody, I'm gonna go. Listen, who does Michigan play? Who does Michigan play? Huh?
What?
Who does Michigan play? I don't have the.
Michigan is playing Houston.
No, I'm going Houston. CJ's going 500, and then who's Birmingham play?
Memphis.
I'm taking the Boats.
See, screw yourself up. You don't care. Shoot, you don't care. And then the Renegades and the Brahmas. You taking the Brahmas, right? You're taking all the bad teams.
No. I'm taking Arlington. I'm taking Arlington over that. Come on, man. I ain't that stupid. I mean, come on. I ain't that dumb.
Hey, if the Renegades have a better record than the Arlington Renegades,
I'm just saying, I ain't that dumb.
that just lets you know how weird this season really, really was. Hey, shout out to my man Scoop B, Brandon Scoop B Robinson, NBA historian and insider. Happy birthday to you, sir. Just wanted to make sure I threw that out there on the show today.
Is that it?
It's a good dude, man. Make sure you follow my Scoop B. All right, y'all. We about to get up out here. Make sure you follow us.
I just pooed
Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube.
I'm gonna go fly my drone.
You have fun with that.
Well, I'm gonna take it with me. I'm gonna bring it with me to the championship game and get some pictures of the tailgate with the drone, baby.
Next week. End of the season. End of the season. We're not doing that now.
Tune in because listen, we got at least 12 weeks of material to talk about. We're going to break down every single team. We're going to break down the expansion talk and all of that stuff. But if there's something you guys want us to talk about first at the end of the season after the championship game, hit us up on Messenger. Let us know what it is that you guys would like us to talk about first, and that's what we'll talk about first.
Thank you, guys.
All right,
once again.
Next week.
See y'all.